Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today we're reviewing a special movie today. I figured, since the 5th of November was coming up, I would review this movie. I found it in my, I was going through my storage bins trying to find fantasy movies to review when I found this movie, and I figured, you know what, 5th of November was coming up. So let's do this, right? And this is a very political movie. And as you know, I'm a right-winger. So obviously, I disagree with the communist Alan Moore, which this is his... If Watchmen was his most based and red-pilled movie, I would have to say this is his most... well, he didn't obviously directed and written that movie, but I would say this is his most cringe and blue-pilled work, which I did read the original comic book back in the day. I can't remember if I liked it. I think if I remember correctly, it was all black and white, and during the rain scene, Natalie Portman's character Evie was naked. Here, she obviously wasn't. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So it's this movie came out 2005. It's like a revenge thriller kind of movie. Though I don't really see how it's a thriller, to be honest. But according to IMDb, it is. Well, it says sci-fi thriller, but it's more a revenge movie than anything else, right? And obviously it's very communist, you have your communist revolution in the movie against the sci-fi fascist future, even though the movie didn't really look that sci-fi to me. It's directed by James McTeigue, which I hear his other movies suck. Is he an Australian film director? That would make sense, because the Wachowskis wrote this movie and he was... Why is it playing the fucking trailer? I just wanted to see what other fucking movies this guy did. Oh my god, never mind. So it stars Natalie Portman as Evie, Hugo Weaving as V, Stephen Rea from Finch. He's the guy who was in that... What was that movie? Oh fuck, I can't remember. It's the movie where the end of the movie, he's about to make out with this what he thinks is a chick, and she takes her clothes off, and it's like a dude. What was it? Something Cries? Not Boys Don't Cry. Some fucking movie like that. You have Stephen Fry is in this movie. He plays a gay guy. You have John Hurt as the Adolf Hitler character in this movie. The British Adolf Hitler character. And as I mentioned, the Wachowskis wrote this movie, which I'm trying to remember. Was there lesbian shit in the original comic book? I can't remember, but there's a lot of lesbian shit in here. And as you know, the Wachowskis like to LARP as lesbians nowadays. Yeah. So, well, I totally forgot that this was based off a DC Vertical book by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. I totally fucking forgot that, because I don't have this book in my collection. Thank God. Honestly, I'd rather not. Honestly, when I was into Alan Moore comic books, I was a teenager at the time, so obviously I didn't buy a lot of them. I just read them at the library. The only Alan Moore comic book I have, I think I have some Superman one, and I have Batman: The Killing Joke, which is the best Batman book ever, even though it's super short. And honestly, people only really like it for three things: the art, the traumatic scene where Joker cripples Batgirl, whatever her Deborah. Is it Deborah? Barbara. No, Barbara. Yeah, Barbara Gordon. And the end of the movie where Batman kills Joker, but for some reason they still have it they have that comic book canon, but they just took out the part where he killed the Joker, which is It's called The Killing Joke because he kills Joker. You fucking retards. And like Kevin Smith is such a retard. Like Grant Morrison had to tell him that. And like he's like, wait a second, it's killing joke because Batman kills Joker at the end. It's like, why did you think he was telling him a joke at the end? You fat retard. You fathead. I almost said something. Yeah, this movie. So there's a lot of action. No, there's not actually a lot of action, but what action in the movie is good. Hugo Weaving's performance, who he honestly is just voice acting in the movie. The guy, James Purefoy, the guy who starred in Solomon Kane, was the original actor in the costume, but like he got kicked off, or he quit, or whatever reason why. Maybe because he didn't like being like you have these actors who don't like when they have to act in like costumes the entire time of the movie. Like that's why that Mandalorian actor quit. And though like Sylvester Stallone, when he did the Dredd movie, he said that wasn't the reason. It wasn't his idea to take the helmet off. He said he would have been fine wearing the helmet the entire time, which I like. Stallone seems like a working class kind of guy, so I kind of do believe him when he said he would do that. And like he had the balls to tell Quentin Pedal Defender Tarantino to go fuck himself when he asked Stallone to star in Death Proof. Because he's like, motherfucker, I have like 3 daughters. I'm not gonna play a psycho killer who kills like teenage girls. Go fuck yourself. Which I thought was fucking cool. Even though I'm not a Stallone fan, I think his movies suck. But like, you know, he himself seems like a cool guy. Let the guy do whatever steroids he wants. You know. The guy is like 70s, is gonna be like 70 years old, and he's still gonna be in like action movies. That scene in Airplane like totally predicted like Stallone's career. Here's the thing about this movie. Is it a good movie? Yes. Is there like some good action? Yes. Is the story good? Yes. Is the acting good? Yes, except for Natalie Portman's accent, which I thought was shitty. It's just the thing where my problem with the movie is the politics and the hypocrisy, because like they like these left-wingers, these commies, which Alan Moore, thanks to Rorschach reviews, I found out Alan Moore was a rich kid. So the hypocrisy of a rich kid being a communist, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And the guy has a Lolita fetish, for people who don't know that. He wrote like a porn comic book about like the fucking all the grim fairy tale, not grim fairy tale characters, but like, you know, characters like Alice and like other characters from like fairy tale books in a pornographic comic book that he wrote. Yeah. So like the guy is a hypocrite. Like they portray everything every time like they have like anti-authoritarian movie. They portray it as like anti-authoritarian government in like a story. They portray it as like they portray it like as it's fascism, right? But like you have today, England is super authoritarian now, but like left wing where they're like charging people with hate crimes, hate speech, and putting them in jail. Not just fines, they're putting them in jail, right? Like they got rid of, like, freedom of speech is dead over there, like it's dead over here. But like they don't give a shit because they don't give a shit that their government is super authoritarian, super oppressive, because it's leaning in their direction, right? If it was leaning our direction, it's fascism. But when they do it, no, it's like liberal, you know, democracy, blah blah blah. Go fuck yourselves, dude. That's fucking bullshit. And and I'm not even gonna mention the shit that's going on currently with the election and shit, which is like, to anybody who's not like biased can clearly tell like they were fixing the election, like they were like tampering with the ballots and shit, but like nobody's gonna report on it besides people that don't fucking matter. Like, and if you point out the one news agency that is reporting on, they'll just say, well, it's right wing. Of course they're gonna say they're fucking with the ballots. Well, your left wingers are saying they didn't, so it's like there's your bias there too. It's like, what can you do, right? Like, Jesus fuck. So like, shit's fucked. And like I thought it was kind of interesting that they predicted that in the future, nuclear weapons weren't going to be a big thing because, you know, nuclear weapons are too destructive, where you can just have like viral weapons can do the damage that you want with nuclear weapons, but without, you know, destroying resources and destroying your enemies' lands and shit. So I thought that was like actually kind of clever, though. Like, other people have also predicted, you know, viral weapons would be more the weapon of the super weapon of the future, and not so much nuclear weapons. Like, if you ever read like the manga, what was it called? The 20th Century Boys. That's a post-apocalyptic. Not really. It's only near the end that it is, but it's a very like, you know, it's a very cool book that talks about, you know, viral weapons and shit. And I just want to mention that if you were to play a drinking game where you had to drink every time you spotted a Doctor Who actor, you would probably get alcohol poisoning at the end of the movie, which I thought was funny because there's so many Doctor Who actors in this movie. Which is, here's the thing, right? Is the movie a good movie? Yes. Is it? Do I find it morally? Do I find the movie bullshit and hypocritical? Especially since they're taking this character, right? That was a kind of right wing leaning historical figure, and they're turning him into like a communist like symbol in this movie, which I thought was kind of fucked up, right? I don't really know much about the Guy Fawkes character personally, because I have one group of people telling me he was a monarchist, anti-democracy guy. I have another group of people telling me he was pro-Catholic, anti-Protestant guy. I don't fucking know what's true, okay? All I know is he sounds like the guy sounds like he was right-wing, right? So, like, to me, it's kind of fucked up that you're taking a character and turning a right-wing guy, and you're taking him and making him this communist figure, which is fucked up. Honestly, if I had to give this movie a rating, it's like a 7 out of 10. It's a little dated. There's not a lot of action scenes. I thought the movie is very pretentious, especially with the and the V dialogue, the V not rants but monologues that he goes on. Honestly, if you didn't have Hugo Weaving, the great actor, like, you know, like doing his great performance, making it sound smarter than it actually is, you would realize it's kind of retarded. Especially he's obsessed with the V words and shit, right? Because, and then it goes into his backstory too, but it's like whatever, guy. I find it funny. This is an anti-fascist movie, but I'm wearing my Naruto shirt, which is, if you know anything about Naruto, it's ask Sam High what's cool about Naruto. And one thing I want to say before I end this review is Equilibrium, also an English anti-fascist movie, a lot better than this movie, in my opinion. If you had to choose between watching this or Equilibrium, watch Equilibrium. Way better movie. Way better, and it has a lot of action, and it's more emotional too. Okay, bye.